Hello, my YouTube friends. Welcome back to the Coverdale Mine. So I've been having fun lately running my post-war stuff lately, but this here engine's been giving me a little bit of problems. A while back, it had a short. I made a video about it, a dead short, and here the drum in the E unit, the little drum, the post broke off and it jammed in there and shorted out. So the fingers were a little bit warped and dirty. Yeah, so the drum post broke off, it jammed, shorted out, and I just bought a drum and replaced the drum. And then when I got in there, I noticed the fingers were kind of burnt, especially forward was burnt. I cleaned them up and kept bending them around. I'd say it was like 5 times. I've had the E unit apart. I should have just done this to the beginning. So we're going to totally rebuild the E unit. It's what I should have done in the first place. But I've gotten old fingers to work good, but I'm having no luck here. So let's do E unit rebuild. Here's the bottom of some post-war power. Made in New York, New York. 4 screws on this one. This is my 2055. 2055. 1, 2, 3, 4. Already took them out. Those 4 screws and she's on the workbench. Didn't even have to mess with the drive rods, which the first time I took it apart, I thought this was connected to the shell, but it's just sticks out through the shell. So all the drive rods are on, the trucks are still on, everything comes right out with them 4 screws. So let's remove this E unit and rebuild her. Rebuild kit, fingers and drum. So there's 1 set, there's 2 sets of fingers. 1 with 4 fingers and 1 with 2 fingers. If you ever rebuilt one of these or messed around with them, the 2 fingers are on the bottom, very bottom. And then once you have it apart, you'll see where everything goes. Then you got to remember your wiring. 2 wires to the brush. And then you got to have the pickup lead coming up, power lead coming up from the rollers going to the E unit, and that's the same with your light, and your smoke unit will go to that same pickup on that post on the side of the E unit. So I know these 2 wires are going to go to the brushes for forward and neutral and reverse. We'll have to pay attention about this little short black wire. And this is the power, I believe. So you just have to pay attention where them wires were coming out on that old E unit. Okay, disregard what I said about these 2. What I'm going to do is just look here and see where everything comes from and mark it. So, for example, this is the very lowest one. That 1 yellow wire is right here. So that goes to the first brush. And then I'll trace where these 2 wires come out and this little black wire, and I'm just going to mark it. I'll just mark it. Maybe I'll use my little pen. That's what I'll do. I'll use my colored pens and I'll mark where yellow goes, where blue goes, where green goes, where black goes. I've done this before, but I did trial and error and just kept touching things and it took forever. So let's not do it that way. Let's think ahead. And a good picture will help too. Okay, so here's the wire coming up from the roller. That's our power feed. That goes here. Then we know the wire to the smoke unit and light all hooks here. That's our power. So we have a yellow wire. I figured out where that'd be coming from by looking at the E unit and seeing how it's going to, seeing the wires coming out. I studied the E unit. So this wire is going to be yellow. So I marked it yellow and yellow there. The blue wire is going to go to this other brush. I marked that blue there and also put a blue dot there for when I remove the wires. And then the green one, this is coming off our coil here. So I'm going to splice the green one to that. I'll leave all that because that's pretty fragile down in there. And it's protected so and working, so we'll just splice the green wire right there. And we should have it. I might have to do a new roller wire because that thing got so short it keeps breaking off. Either need to extend it or dig down in there and do a whole new one. Time to fire up the soldering iron and remove the old E unit. She's heating up. I always use max, I don't know. I like it hot. Do one on camera. Get your soldering iron nice and hot and clean and whoop. Take them right off. And I have a little snot sucker here. If you want to clean up, get it nice and hot, suck some of that solder right up. So they're put together, they're just like, you got to get everything lined up and close it up. And to get it apart, I just take a pair of needle nose, put it in there. It's kind of hard while I'm filming. And then I open them up. I need 2 hands, but basically that's what I do. Get the needle nose in there like that. See if I could do it with 2 hands here. Filming and working's hard. There we go. Popped her apart. So check it out. There's your drum. And inside there, there's a little plunger. Goes up and down. And it has a hook on it. Let me see if I can see that little hook. So when you put your drum in, make sure your fingers are facing the right way so the hook grabs them and pulls them up. That's one step. And look at these old, look at them old fingers. I'm surprised it worked at all. I had it working for a while. And then I kept losing forward. Old fingers, new fingers. And the drum's good. That's brand new. I just put in there. Here's how it started. That little nub there on the end broke off and the thing cocked and it shorted up. Messed them fingers all up. Getting them back together, woo! It's not easy. Getting that drum lined up. Your slot's got to be lined up. Your fingers got to be right. Once you get everything right, you crimp it together. I'm not going to film it. I'm just going to tell you, be very patient and keep trying until you get it. Patience is a must. One thing that helps is you can hold the plunger out of the way. The plunger latch out of the way with a toothpick. But getting that barrel in there and getting the last wire in there is something. You get the barrel in, and then you can't get the wire in. Then you get the wire in, you can't, but one pops out, the other pops out. Be patient. All I can say is have patience, keep trying to get everything lined up, and then all of a sudden, snap! It's so rewarding when you'll hear a little, when you got everything just lined up just right, and you squeeze with your plier, you'll hear click. Look at that. Now we just got to get it wired into the engine and test her out. Okay, I got all the wires back on. We'll unplug the soldering iron and plug in the Lionel transformer. It's the little one with the L on it. Ooh. Reverse. Neutral. Forward. Yeah. Neutral. Reverse. Forward. Smoke unit's working and the light's working. Yeah. Now put the shell back on and the unit fixed. Okay, let me replace the 681 turbine, who's been running real good, except for his unit's a little sticky. He cycles, but sometimes he gets stuck. So he'll be next. I think he just needs a cleaning. All right, but anyhow, maintenance is never done at the Coverdale mine. But anyhow, let's put the 2055 in its place and give her a test run. Okay, we got the 2055 with its new rebuilt E-unit ready for a test run. Give me a minute. Neutral. Reverse. Neutral. Forward. Nice. I love the old trains. I also love doing the maintenance. Okay, I forgot to film it. I got all caught up. Maintenance day on the post-war. But I took a little of this electronic cleaner and I sprayed it on that plunger on the 681. Remember I told you it was sticking? And I just cleaned it all around it and didn't oil the plunger. I just cleaned it with this electronic cleaner and check her out. Neutral. Reverse. Neutral in, forward. No sticking. So I thought I'd add that. There's the old Cannonball Express. Woo woo! Ha ha! Main thing, be patient. Thanks again. I really appreciate you watching all the way to the end. And as always, we'll see you on the next adventure down at the Coverdale Mine.